Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, Dirk the Review, back again with another video, and we have our first teaser for Clayface, which, yeah, we're really talking about Clayface. The third movie in James Gunn's new DCU, and also one of the weirdest. I wouldn't say weirdest, but it's one of those. Oh, so we're doing another Batman villain movie. That worked out the second time. I know it was with different creatives, and also a sense of I don't even know why Clayface is a movie even in discussion because I feel like, yeah, Clayface is one of those Batman villains where I'm like, okay, you can do it as a movie villain, but Clayface getting his own little solo movie, I'm not even sure if that's one of the big, I wouldn't say rogues gallery villains I would actually pick for a movie. Like, I know we had the Penguin on HBO, but also I feel like the Penguin is one of those higher up Batman villains that actually can withstand their own TV show or movie. Like the Penguin comes to mind. Two Face, Riddler, Joker, many times I could just say. But Clayface is a weird one, but also it's one of those, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But when you say somebody like Mike Flanagan is attached to it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? You kind of caught my interest on that one. And there's a lot of liberties you can do with the Clayface movie because I feel like, yeah, Clayface, if you don't know, is a Batman villain where, depending on the origin you choose for this character, whether he's a mobster who interacted with chemicals or an actor, I wouldn't say depending on which version you choose, the Clayface story is still in there, but also the Clayface, which I don't even know if it is going to be part of the Batman 2, but Clayface, where it's just a guy with clay on his face and he's just a mobster, I'm like, yeah, good luck, Matt Reeves, if you actually try to do that one. And for the past few days, they actually put out some of the posters for this thing. The main poster I kind of like that it shows his whole face and he has his jaw open when you see his whole skin looking brownish. Where I'm like, oh, so it is going to do the full clay mold. But also the fact that they kind of revealed that this clay face version is Matt Hagen. I would have suspected Basil Carlos since that's the version I'm familiar with most. But then again, I'm like, it's still the actor. I know they did that whole thing with Batman the Animated Series where they did Matt Hagen as the actor version, but I'm like, Basil Karlo is the one I actually am more familiar with. The best thing about comics is that they'll always merge in some of the best qualities of that character and still rebrand it for a character that some people might not even know. And seeing as though this is going to be another R-rated movie in the DC universe, that kind of keeps my hopes up, but also the sense of, okay, so is this going to be like Joker style action or is it going to be like horror? Because the way they keep promoting this is going to be like horror, but I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with that, and with the sense of we kind of did get a glimpse of what Gotham does look like in the DCU, thanks to Creature Commandos. And I feel like, you know what, this could be set in tone for what that world is going to be like. And seeing as though, yeah, there was a lot of speculation whether or not this is in the Batman universe or is it going to be part of the DCU. But at least let me see what are we dealing with here because I feel like, yeah, it's a short teaser. It's like a minute long, and I know they showed a bit of it at CinemaCon, but let's take a peek to see what this looks like because I feel like, yeah, there's a lot you can do with this. But then again, we've dealt with Sony and we know the type of villain movies they put out. So we already know DC has it in better hands. Well, in that case, let's get to the trailer. First thing I'm just noticing is that it's in the smaller aspect ratio, like Sinners. Oh, so he's getting injected with the chemicals. Hmm, clowns. Oh, he did the arm mallet. A short teaser indeed, but then again, you know what? I don't need to see that much right now. Just a little glimpse for me to actually get the tone of what this movie's going to be like. And yeah, it kind of fits in the horror tone. And for some parts of this trailer, I kind of like the fact that they actually do a little bit of what I know the character from because I feel like, yeah, I wouldn't guess that some of the DC characters actually incorporate the facts that, oh, their backstory is revolving around this certain thing. Like, I already know that the early Batman movies did this whole thing where, oh, an accident turned them this way, or oh, they were born this way from certain features, like what Tim Burton did, and also the fact that also I wouldn't even say it counts, but I kind of want to do acknowledge the fact that at least Batman and Robin did something right with the Mr. Freeze story. Despite the mishaps of that movie, at least they kept Mr. Freeze and his backstory natural to the sense of, you know what? At least they did this right. The Mr. Freeze story, despite all the other stuff around it, at least they kept that true to where its core. But at least I wonder, yeah, with some of the Batman villains they actually try and introduce, I kind of want to do see the backstory of the villains and not just, oh, we're just here to fight Batman and that's it. Even the look of Gotham, because I'm not gonna lie, it does look a little bit Matt Reevish, but also I can't judge it because the fact that we haven't even seen a live action Gotham City in the DCU yet. I know we've seen it in animated form where I'm like, it's just a city, and if you told me this was Gotham, I wouldn't even be confused with it. And speaking of animated, we did kind of see Clayface in Creature Commandos, but also not, I wouldn't say in clay form, but it's kind of weird that the way you see him in Creature Commandos, he's like, oh, he looks like Clayface, but I'm not even sure if that's exactly the same character. I know James Gunn kind of did say it's the same character, and this is a prequel to Creature Commandos, but I'm like, yeah, this whole thing confusing. I don't even know. The timeline is kind of weird with this thing. But I feel like this whole DC chapter stage is kind of confusing because I feel like the way the plan was at first, you already had the plan of gods and monsters. You already had your movies and your TV series lined up. The only ones in line up are Supergirl and Lanterns. Clayface was something that he just announced, and I was like, really? Clayface? So Swamp Thing is still coming, or is it still like in development? I know that kind of sounded negative, but it's more the sense of, yeah, I know the plan, but also why announce something random and not just included it in the plan before? Like if you wanted to do it, you can just do it because you're still the CEO of the studio now. But I kind of do appreciate the little subtle glimpses of what you see in the trailer because you already see him being injected with a substance. You see the rising actor stardom and fame, and the fact that once you see the whole, oh, I'm changing and I'm merging with this whole sequence of events, and you see his face molding down. Actually see him do the mallet, where I'm like, okay, at least he does that whole thing where he could actually transform his hand into objects. Even the little last scene in the shower where you see him just laying in the bathtub and you see him wipe his face and his face all comes out. If they really wanted to push that R rating and actually end this trailer with a bang, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a version out there where he just wipes his face and blood comes out of it. As for the Batman in this, I'm not even sure whether or not Batman would make an appearance in this because I feel like if this is a villain centric story, Batman could show up. But then again, I don't even want to know if there even is a Batman cast for it because let's be honest, the Batman is a real figure we need in the DCU, not just as a side character in the Batman because I feel like the Batman has been taking 5 years exactly on a break. That excuse only works in Endgame, but then again, at least the Avengers did do something. I'm not expecting a Batman appearance, more of a reference. Like I already know we're in Gotham, we already know there are other villains out there doing their thing, but also I kind of want to see at least acknowledge that oh, there is a presence out there. The same way you saw in the intro of the Batman, where you see all the criminals scared of them. I kind of want to do see something like that in this, and not just oh a glimpse in the sky and you see the bat signal and that's it. Like if we actually do get a fight with Batman and Clayface at some point in this movie, that's cool, almost like what they did in Suicide Squad. But then again, it's like, yeah, it's his movie. We're getting to see the origin of Clayface and Matt Hagen becoming this character. So in that case, hopefully this ends up being good. But then if they want to do explore more of the characters in the DC universe, I wouldn't mind them exploring villains because you can actually have heroes with their own solo movies. But then again, there are some DC villains I feel are worthy of movies, especially some of the ones I feel like, yeah, we're just picking names out of a hat. And if you were to pick this character, I wouldn't mind it because there's a dark side of the DC universe that actually could be explored. And since Guillermo del Toro isn't doing anything right now, I wouldn't mind if he actually did return to produce this because, you know, Justice League Dark is a movie I thought we were actually going to get with the previous DCEU. But even though some plans changed and we didn't end up getting it, I wouldn't mind if he actually comes back to do that. Alright, guys, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. All my social media is down in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.